One image, one message, one moment that hits your mind and reshapes your day. This is One Frame Style. Stop for a second. Tell me something. Who are you? No, wait. Don't tell me your name. Don't tell me what you do. Don't tell me where you work or what you studied. Who are you when you strip all of that away? Because what most people call their identity isn't theirs. It's a prison built by someone else's hands. Your parents told you what was safe to be. School told you what was worth studying. Society told you what was worth wanting. And slowly, without even noticing, you stopped listening to that voice inside. That strange, uncomfortable voice that kept whispering, "This isn't you." And you know what the most devastating part of that is? It's not that you lost yourself, it's that you were never given permission to find yourself. They taught us everything: multiplication tables, history, how to write a resume. But no one, not one person, ever taught us how to discover who we actually are. And yet every morning you wake up and something feels off. A quiet, nagging feeling, like wearing a suit that was never made for you. This video is for that feeling. This video is for that voice you've been ignoring for too long. Sit down, listen, because what I'm about to tell you might change everything. We live inside a system designed to produce conformity, not greatness. They hand you 3 or 4 options for your life: doctor, lawyer, engineer, office worker, and they say, pick one. As if those were the only paths. As if you were a product to be filed away in a category. And the problem isn't that those choices are wrong. The problem is that you never truly chose them. You inherited them. You accepted them because they were safe, because they were there, because someone would have been disappointed if you'd said no. You know what that system stole from you? Exposure. You can't want what you've never seen. You can't reach for a life you didn't know was possible. Your horizon was small, not because you were small, but because no one ever took you far enough to see how big the world actually is. So what do? You start watching other people. You start picking up pieces of their lives, a little of this, a little of that, and you build a version of yourself that's a collage, a puzzle made of borrowed dreams. And then you wonder why you don't feel whole. And then the moment comes, and it comes for everyone, where you tell yourself, maybe I'm just not good enough. Maybe I don't have the right talent. Maybe I wasn't built for great things. And right there, I have to stop you, because that is the most dangerous lie in existence. I've seen people build empires from nothing. No talent, no connections, no money. And I've seen people with every privilege the world can offer live completely empty lives. The difference wasn't talent. It wasn't luck. It was one thing. They knew who they were. They knew what they wanted, and they never stopped searching. Talent doesn't take you where you need to go. Talent is a starting point, and often it's not even that. The strengths you have today will become almost irrelevant when your goal is big enough. Because along the way, you'll discover abilities you never knew you had. And you'll face weaknesses you never knew you were carrying. And you'll have to become someone you can't even imagine right now. The question isn't, am I good enough right now? The question is, am I willing to become who I need to be? There is a map. Nobody ever showed it to you, but it exists. And it starts with 3 questions. 3 questions you have to ask yourself every time something feels wrong. The first, What does your head see? Your head is the vision. It's knowing where you're going, not in a vague way, I want to be happy, I want to be successful. No, specific, sharp, concrete. What does your life look like 5 years from now? Who are you in that version? How do you spend your days? What have you built? Without that clarity, you're not an explorer, you're a wanderer. You're moving, yes, but you're not going anywhere. The second, what does your heart feel? Your heart never lies, but most people have learned to stop listening to it because the heart says uncomfortable things. It says, this job is killing you. It says, this relationship isn't making you grow. It says, you stopped dreaming. Your heart doesn't always give you direction, but it tells you with absolute certainty when you're heading in the wrong one. And then there's the third question, the one that changes everything. What does the world need that only you can give? Because here's the thing, your passion is for you. It lights you up. It makes you feel alive. It makes you feel like yourself. But your purpose, your real purpose, is always for others. It's the moment you take what you love and put it in service of something bigger than yourself. Gandhi said something I carry with me every single day. You find yourself when you lose yourself in service to others. Stop asking what you can get. Start asking what you can give. Because that's where, exactly there, your identity stops being a prison and becomes a weapon. Now, there's a specific moment in the life of every person who has ever built something real. A moment they remember with crystal clarity. The first book that cracked them open. The first mentor who saw something in them they couldn't see in themselves. The first time they did something that felt impossible and pulled it off. In that moment, something shifts. Ambition hits the heart, and a belief is born. This is possible. This is possible for me. I'm not talking about optimism. I'm not asking you to be positive. I'm asking you to believe, just once, concretely, that the version of yourself you want is actually reachable. Because without that belief, you'll never try hard enough. You'll quit before you even begin. But the moment that door opens, the moment you say, wait, this is possible for me, you become unstoppable. I want you to think about something. Right now, in this moment, there is a version of you, a version that exists somewhere, who made the choice, who woke up one day, looked at the life they were living, and said, enough, not like this. I'm capable of more. I want more, and I'm going to build it. That version of you is real. It's not a dream. It's not an illusion. It's a genuine possibility waiting for one thing, for you to choose it. And I know what you're thinking right now. You're thinking, it's not that simple. You're right, it's not simple. Nobody said it would be. But do you know what the real difference is between the people who build extraordinary lives and the ones who stay exactly where they are? It's not talent. It's not luck. It's not the family they were born into. It's this. The people who make it choose every single day growth over comfort, education over entertainment, work over distraction. They don't do it because it's easy. They do it because they know who they are, because they found their fire, and that fire pushes them even on the days when everything in them wants to quit. So let me ask you the most important question of this entire video. Not what is your purpose, not what is your passion. Who are you choosing to be today? Not tomorrow, not when you have more time, more money, more courage. Today, in this version of your life, with what you have right now. Because every great journey starts with a choice. And that choice isn't made once. It's made every morning, every hour, every time you could stop, and you don't. Find yourself, not in other people's approval, not in the titles they give you, not in the expectations you inherited. Find yourself in the work. Find yourself in the service. Find yourself in who you become when no one is watching. That is who you really are. One image, one truth. If it hit you, it was meant for you. Stay here. More truth is waiting.